Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on our first ever LinkedIn Live, brought to you by Phase 3 in partnership with LearnAmp. I'm James Proctor, COO at Phase 3, and I'm really excited that this is our first ever session. I'm really hoping to get some great interaction from you guys in the audience.
Hi, I am the Chief Commercial Officer at LearnAmp, one of the people that set the business up as well.
From your perspective, Joe, what do you think the power of partnerships is?
Yeah, great question. Why are we here? I think in the world that we live in now, which is so interconnected across the internet, across systems that we use, no one business operates without great partnerships. I think particularly as a technology business, working with different types of partners is hugely helpful for us. Some partners are integration partners. So, we always say that big ERPs or kind of behemoth kind of software solutions aren't best in breed in what they do. They just do lots of things. We like to work in a kind of best in breed ecosystem of other solutions. So that's part of it, but also it's around how we actually working together to provide better support to our customers as well. And we all sit in slightly different parts of that journey, I suppose, for them, and thinking about how we all have slightly different positive impact areas for those customers as well. So yeah, for us, partnership's critical.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would agree with that. I think one of the things that's really important to call out in this industry in particular is that there is an ecosystem of partners that work really well together. And I think a lot of us recognize that in order for customers and prospects to get the best possible experience, we need to be open to partnerships, as do they. And ultimately, we all need to know what we're good at doing, and where our value actually lies. So we are obsessed with finding the right solution for customers and helping them to implement the solution, but implement in a way that gives them those value drivers that they bought into the project for in the first place. And we recognize that, as you say, from a connections perspective, our connection service means that we speak to lots of different partners about how we connect their solutions into different products so that we're able to really get the best value for the customer, automate the processes. And it's not necessarily in your interest as the solution provider to provide those deep integrations with every other single HR provider. So using a partner like us with middleware means we can make that process much better for the customer ultimately overall.
The whole reason we became a B Corp was most businesses are just driven around the sense of creating profit for the organization. And that drives so many bad decisions and so many bad behaviors across business. Whereas actually, if you balance profit and purpose, and part of your purpose is about delivering impact and actually being a valuable solution for organizations, looking after your own employees, thinking about the world and being sustainable, these things drive much better decisions. And I think lots of businesses feel very similar. We're seeing, in a saturated market where sometimes solutions can at least feel quite similar, the point of difference can sometimes be, well, I feel more aligned to this business. I feel like they're doing good things. They're having a positive impact. Yeah, and it's definitely been our experience of working with you guys as well. You've got a very similar kind of sense of ethics and values around that. What value do you think directly to customers you see partnerships like ours provide? Like, what else are you seeing in how they get more value?
I think ultimately it's about understanding the roles and responsibilities of each person. So as I said, we're obsessed with making sure that implementations and ongoing support is managed effectively. And that is our mission. We're not there to develop technology. We don't do that as an organization. And your role in that is to provide the best of breed solution, to constantly be innovating and to challenge yourselves and let the customers challenge you. So the value that this software with a service brings, I feel, and that with being potentially from a third party means that everybody focuses on the core responsibility of what they need to do. And ultimately that ensures that you're not bogged down with dealing with implementation and data migration and integrations. That's for us to deal with. The customers focus purely on getting the solution up and running and designed in a way that works for them. And your focus on innovation in the product. And ultimately for me, that's the perfect mix.
I totally agree. I also think, you guys take a more holistic overall view of the whole tech space and what systems work well together. And again, that's not really our job. Our job is to think about how we integrate with some of those, and think about where we should stop and not go too far so we can still stay best free. But yeah, you're right. And a good example of that, like we've always been very clear, we don't create content. There's other people that do that. What we're about is being the absolute best vehicle for how that content is interacted with and consumed, but also where does content play a part in delivering the overall product or offering. Again, we don't have an authoring tool, and sometimes people, well, we do have authoring tools actually, sorry, that's not fair. We don't have an e-learning authoring tool. And we've always said, because there are best in breed ones out there, most people buy their own anyway. So do you want us to try and build a second-rate version of that, or would you like us to spend our time on building the absolute best user experience and administration and automations? And I totally agree. The more that you can get clear on where your real value is in that relationship, I think the better for everyone.